Okay, people, let's talk about these four men. Dairou, Darrius, Hotaru, and Havik. Where are they? What's happening? What's their fate? What's up with the new Havik? Interesting stuff, right? Now, if you remember, a while back when Havik's bio dropped, I was looking at this thing strange because I'm saying to myself, this bio doesn't sound like the original Havik. It actually sounds a little bit like Dairou, but mostly Darrius and Havik. Anyone remember that? Then I done a follow-up video, I think it was in my cameo list, where I'm saying this bio sounds like they're merging all three characters together. Dairou, Darrius, and Havik. And the majority of the story sounds like Darrius. Have we got a clip of that? His story is actually incorporated into Havik. In fact, now that I think about it, considering they're the switching storylines around, merging realms and shit, check this out. Punished for a crime. That was Dairou. And that's the only thing that relates to Dairou in this bio. Turned into a rebel and wants to destroy order. That is Darrius. That is Darrius' story. Wants to cause complete chaos. That is Havik's story. It's almost like they took elements from three characters and merged it into one. It's almost like they looked at it like Dairou's a dud, Darrius was a dud. Let's just fuse them together and try to come up with one badass character. And if Havik now comes in and jobs out straight away, well, that's the end of these guys, right? Of course, the game arrived, and if you complete the game, you unlock Havik. And in an interaction between Reptile and Havik, he calls this man Dairou.
Return to Sido, Dairou.
Where did you learn my real name?
But does he have Darrius' story? Does the new Havik have anything to do with Darrius? What do you think, people? Now, all you have to do is go back to the Midway era. All four of these men had titles, they had monikers. I'm sure you all know them. Dairou was a mercenary. Shujinko calls him the mercenary Dairou. He was a mercenary and an assassin. You pay Dairou $30, he will kill people. Dairou was all about money. He says it in all the interactions you see. He says bring coins, mercenaries do not work for free. Dairou is about that bread. Then you had Hotaru, a man all about order. Justice. I think they referred to him as the Justice Zealot, right? Are we correct so far, people? These were their monikers. The mercenary Dairou, the Justice Zealot Hotaru, and of course you had Havik, the Cleric of Chaos. Are we correct? These were their titles. This Havik wanted nothing but chaos. But there was one other guy that wanted a revolution. One other guy that wanted resistance. Anyone know who that guy is? This one guy was a revolutionary, a visionary. And no, I'm not talking about Seth freaking Rollins. That one guy was, wait for it, Darrius. Let's get something perfectly clear, people. There was only one revolutionary in the Order realm. There was only one resistant leader. That was Darrius. Make no mistake about it, Dairou was a mercenary. He worked for money. He was about bread. Dairou was not a freedom fighter, nor was he a revolutionary leader. That was Darrius. So now that we know that, what's this man saying in his intro dialogues? Let's have a look.
What do you know of revolution, Earthrealmer?
Enough to know that you're making a mistake.
Oppose the revolution and you'll die where you stand!
I like my chances, Havik.
I won't abide rabble who screech revolution.
Then chaos and carnage will be my solution!
Sundo.
An effective army needs structure and discipline. It needs fighters willing to die for freedom.
Sundo.
I need partners in rebellion.
You'll find none here, Havik. My realm's order won't be disrupted.
You can't stop the revolution, Scorpion.
Another interesting thing right here is literally in Darrius's bio, he says he's a hero to his people, but to his enemies, he's a terrorist. So basically, his haters hate him, and his people love him, right?
Of all the cruel, heartless people.
Only to my enemies, Umgadi.
The revolution you sell is false goods.
Then why do tens of thousands want it?
And if you still weren't convinced, you go into invasions mode, bring up the menu, and you look at the character's profile picture where it tells you their name and role, and lo and behold, Havik in Mortal Kombat 1 is Order Realms Revolutionary. ... Havik in Mortal Kombat 1 has Darrius's entire story. I said that months before the game dropped. So they indeed took stuff from Dairou, took stuff from the original Havik, took plenty of stuff from Darrius to make this new Havik. He literally just has Dairou's name, and one sentence out of this bio relates to Dairou. The rest, all Darrius and the original Havik. And even if you were to go through all his intro dialogues, see how many times he talks about being a mercenary and loving money, as opposed to being a revolutionary, a freedom fighter, and wanting a revolution. I'll save you the trouble. He doesn't talk about being a mercenary once. Yeah. Which brings me to a valid question is, why the hell is this guy in the game and made it into the story mode when you've given his story to someone else? This is why I was so puzzled when he showed up in the story mode. I'm like, huh? What the hell is he gonna say? And lo and behold, he did nothing, said nothing. You wonder why he couldn't speak, because the man next to him has his entire bio and story. Darrius ought to sue Seth Rollins and Havik for gimmick infringement. How this guy still managed to make it in the game is beyond me. Zero impact, no speech. And if you're saying it's because of diversity, because there's barely any black characters in the game, I hear you. But here's the thing, if that's the case, just replace him with Kai. The last time I checked, Kai was black, right? So you could have just replaced him with Kai. He would have had a better story, more of an impact, and of course, as far as a cameo goes, he can keep the majority of his moves. Keep that launching, spinning kick, just give him a fireball, and in his fatal blow, instead of punching then breaking the leg, have him have some capoeira moves, and you're good to go. Because I don't see the point if you've given his story to someone else. Now he's running around like an NPC, speechless as Havik's lackey, when the guy should be the leader of the revolution. But hey, that's just me. Moving on, what about that man Hotaru? Is he a part of this mad fusion? Nope. Hotaru is still around, and if you look at Havik's ending, where he gets rain to flood Saido.
And now I had to start over. Saido's people were still in chains. That's when Rain approached me. On the run from Empress Melina, he was desperate for help. And though I'd had my fill of sorcerers, this one was different. I agreed to provide him safe haven. He agreed to help topple Saido's government. And topple it we did. Rain summoned a wave so fast, so powerful, that it crushed the capital. Saido's fascist rulers were swept away. My people are finally free. They can chart their own course, needing only to follow their own desires. Their lives are now blessed by anarchy.
Then listen to an intro between Melina and Havik. You'll find out that Hotaru is seeking refuge in Outworld.
Produce Hotaru or watch Outworld burn!
TheFightersDen refugees will not be returned.
But yeah, people, those are the fates of all these characters. Of course, you saw Titan Havik at the end of the game. Now he's more like the original Havik, where he's not a fusion of all these characters combined with stories mixed up. This is looking like this is going to be the real Havik. This guy is going to be a problem. He's obviously going to be powerful as hell as he's a Titan. This might be when Havik gets over, because this Havik right here, this ain't it. So Titan Havik is going to be the one to look for, the one to watch. He might just steal the show. You never know.